straighten my hair out. I gotta make sure my hair is in place before I start this. I'm not gonna edit that out. I'll just leave it in. People will be like, "What the hell?"
Okay.
Hello and welcome to the unofficial BSHL Senior Hockey League podcast. I'm the bald guy named Corey, and this is my co-host, the guy with hair named Corey.
For now, it's thinning. I've got a bald spot on the back of my head. I've been told multiple times by BSHL fans, "Hey, you're going to be as bald as Baldy," and Baldy is Corey.
That's not very nice.
I know. Jesus.
So first Tuesday episode in season 2, Corey. Pretty excited about it.
I am. We're recording this on Monday. I finished work. It is currently, what time is it? You're recording this at 9:02 p.m. I finished work maybe an hour and a half ago.
Okay.
Last day of work for the season. It's always emotional when you finish work and you say goodbye to your friends. Some are going back to other countries. But when one season ends, another begins. And this Friday, another begins.
Season 2 of the unofficial BSHL Senior Hockey League podcast. Puck drop this Friday. Only 3 days away. Can't wait for it. Corey, we heard predictions. I've recorded predictions with Cheryl, my mom, and Tracy. So Cheryl, Mama Podcast, and graphics. We're going to call Tracy graphics. Why not? She does all of our graphics. God bless her. So we're going to throw to those predictions now before we get to our own. I think that's probably the best way to go.
Probably, yeah.
All right. So here is Cheryl, and then my mom, and then Tracy. All right, Corey from the podcast. I am here with Cheryl from the podcast. We're here to find out Cheryl's prediction for this season. Cheryl, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. You sound awful.
I am feeling awful.
You are awful. All right, Cheryl, let's hear your prediction.
My prediction for the winner will be the LC Hawks.
The Elspector Hawks. Why the Elspector Hawks? What have they done to make themselves better than last year?
Well, they acquired Ryu, who will be amazing in goaltender. They got a lot of the same guys that they had, and they have a lot of, they have a lot of chemistry. They know each other. They skate well. As long as everyone can show up and play and do their best, they got it.
They've also got a lot of junior A signings and some other imports. So I suppose that was key in your decision.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
All right. So you heard it here first, folks. Cheryl is picking the Elspector Hawks. All right. I'm here with Mama Podcast. She is coughing. She probably has whatever the hell sister podcast has. Mom, what's your prediction?
Bucktush.
The Bucktush JCs. You think they're going to win the cup this year? Why?
Because they have coaches, they have staff to help them along. They have Colette.
You're a big fan of Colette. What do you think of the signings that they made this offseason?
It was great. I mean, it's going to help them, that's for sure. But with the coaches and everything, I think they'll have more direction. So I think they have a really good chance to win.
All right. Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome.
All right, we're back with Tracy. She would say that I'm her better half.
The behind half, yes.
That's not very nice. All right, Tracy, we're here to hear your prediction for who you think is going to win the cup this year. So let's hear it.
So I'm, as Corey will probably attest to, a bit of an indecisive person in some areas. Especially when it comes to multiple teams that I, respect and appreciate and enjoy watching, and we've gotten to know the people. I think though you can't deny the chemistry that the Marauders have. However, saw the Ducks in practice and their intra-squad game, and they're pretty good. So my prediction is a Dalhousie Amherst final. I'm going with the Marauders, though.
Really tried to really pull us for a loop there, didn't you?
Yeah, I really did. Because I also kind of want to see Elsie in the finals because I really enjoy their hard-hitting plays.
So what made you think that the Marauders are going to win the cup? And why is Amherst in the final against them?
They have chemistry. They won it last year. They remain relatively unchanged from that championship team. And I think you just, even though there are some key moves in different teams around the league, I still think when you have that natural chemistry, it's hard to beat.
What are you most looking forward to getting back to the rinks here in a few days?
Obviously, the Zambonis.
All right. Thanks, Tracy.
My pleasure.
All right, Corey. So I got a text message from my father who informed me that he is also thinking that Bucktouche has done enough this offseason that they're going to be a championship team. So my mom and dad are both picking Bucktouche. My sister is picking the Elspector Hawks. And Tracy's feeling that Dalhousie's got a chance, even though she feels strongly about Amherst as well.
I find it's kind of three are surprising now that I know your father's prediction. Elsie and Bucktouche, it's kind of surprising. I mean, it's surprising in a way that I feel like Dalhousie's the safe choice. Because the proof is in the pudding. They've done it before. They can do it again. It's an easy pick. With LC, they've done it before as well. With Bucktouche, it's the signings and all that. They've never done it. Can they do it? But who do we pick?
Well, I can tell you that all teams should be nervous about who I pick because I am the kiss of unfortunate circumstances from last year.
Yep.
My picks were frequently wrong. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first, Voltor?
Sure, I'll go first. We'll let the boss go last.
Sure thing.
I'm going to agree now with what I said, that Dalhousie is the safe choice. I am picking Dalhousie to win. I think
you're going safe.
It's not even a thing of safe. They've proven it. And I've seen nothing to say otherwise. The same core is there. They probably even got better.
Yeah.
I also think the Amherst Ducks will be in the finals with them. I think this goes 7 games. I think it's a fantastic finals. I think that Dalhousie just squeaks out the win, and I think they repeat. That's my prediction.
I don't think it's a safe prediction, but as you said, they have gotten better this year. It's not like they rested on their laurels. They signed LeMay, who is going to be great in net for them for the games that he's there. Even when he's not, there's some other guys that are, ready to, more than willing and ready to do the job with Savoie and Gendron. I think they signed some solid junior A players as well. And then they're bringing a couple guys over from the CRL as well. So my pick, again, probably not a good thing that I'm picking your team, but I think the Dalhousie Marauders repeat as champions as well. So 3 of us are picking Dalhousie.
Wait. I just heard Travis scream, "Fuck!"
Yeah, Travis is crying somewhere probably right now. Like, why are these bastards? Why is Corey picking us? I just think that they've done enough to get better. Every team in this league is better this year than last year. Bucktouche is drastically better. And Bucktouche is my other pick to be a finalist, by the way. I think it's going to be the Dalhousie Marauders, the Bucktouche GCs, best of 7 in the finals in March, and I'm looking forward to it. What's your other finalist?
I said Amherst.
Oh, you said Amherst? That's fine. I choose, most of the time I try not to listen to Corey, so.
It's funny because what you said, Bucktouche went from probably finishing last to probably finishing near the top.
Yep.
With 2 signings. And it shows you how interesting this league is going to be this year.
Well, we know Bucktouche has one of, if not the best goal in the league.
Yep. Charles Austin is retired. So Alex Colette is the greatest goalie in the BSHL right now. I don't think there's any question. There are some games last season that the score should have been a lot worse than it was, and they still lost. But Alex Colette kept it at like 2 or 3 goals.
I completely agree with you that he's for sure done enough to prove that he's probably the best goaltender in this league. I will say that I think Ryu's a great goaltender, and Adrien Lemay is a great goaltender. There's some great, obviously the Peninsula has great goaltending as well. There's no lack of great goaltenders in this league, but I do agree with you that Colette probably has just a little something that makes him, until somebody proves that they're better, Colette's probably the best goalie in this league. And it's tough for me not to pick Bucktouche. I think they've got a valid point to become a champion. I think the Hawks have a valid point to become a champion as well.
I think every single team has a valid claim. Like every team and every fan base will tell you exactly why their team is going to make it to the finals. When somebody tells me that and they're like, I disagree with your picks, and I'm like, I'm all ears, and I'm not going to disagree with you. I hope you're right. I want this league to grow to the biggest that it can.
Corey, we've had a couple signings announced as well this week.
Yep.
Miramichi kind of coming in, announcing that they're signing from Bonshaw PEI, Jared Toole. He's a former captain of the Woodstock Slammers in the MHL. Played 49 games. Or let me read this properly. He played a season last year in Ontario for the Royal Military College. So he's back this year, going to be playing in the Maritimes, going to be playing for Miramichi. Pretty big signing, in my opinion. It's good to see some junior A kids. Yep, for sure. They're also signing Julien Hébert with a junior A card. So Julien was with them last year. He played for the Amherst Ramblers. Just, a good player, solid pickup for them, adds a little bit more depth. I think we're kind of starting to see the lineups round out, obviously, right now.
Yeah.
Probably not going to see a ton more signings in the next week or two. We all know that come like mid-November, there's going to be a bunch of signings. There's always a bunch of signings in senior hockey in November.
Yeah. With Miramichi, not being able to get Benji Curtis, and that hurts a lot.
Yeah.
You can't lie on that one. That hurts a lot. But at least they're getting guys. At least they're putting a team out there. I think Miramichi's still going to be pretty good, pretty fine. Pretty good, pretty fine.
Pretty fine. I agree with you. I think Miramichi is still going to be a solid team this year. They're going to be, I think mid to top in the standings.
Mm-hmm.
We also saw a signing by the Amherst Ducks today.
Mm-hmm.
I know Connor Smith's probably really happy with this one because he always talks to me about how much he loved Rene George growing up. But Rene George is back in the league. He's going to be an Amherst Duck. Rene George, who I've interviewed after a game last year. Super nice guy. Corey, what do you think about this signing?
I think this is huge. I love Rene George. He was probably one of my favorite coal miners last year. Just a skilled player, someone that the fans deserve to have in the league.
I agree completely. I think he adds some scoring touch for the Miners. Good power play guy, good skater, not scared to get in there and mix it up in front of the net. And a lot of experience. So he's going to be a leader for that team, which up front, that's going to help them out a lot.
Absolutely.
The Amherst Ducks. So Corey, this Friday, after much debate, initially we were supposed to be going to the Peninsula. There was going to be a retiring of Charles Austin's jersey. That has been pushed back to December. I saw that Charles also announced that yesterday that it's going to be pushed back to December. So I've heard that from the team. I've heard that from Charles. We're choosing to start this season together as a group.
Mhm.
We do a lot of work together. We wouldn't be able to do this without Cheryl, without Tracy, without everybody. So we're choosing to start this season together. And we're going to go see the league champions from last year, the Dalhousie Marauders, on the road in Amherst, in what's going to be a fantastic game on Friday night. What made you make that decision, Corey?
Oh, you made the decision. You're the boss.
It's hard to choose, though.
No,
we want to be everywhere. But we're like, let's just go together, go to one game.
Here's the thing. I think, was it during the Trey Lewis interview episode, we mentioned that we would be in Amherst, not in Amherst, in Tracadie.
Yep.
And then the week after, we had already heard that it had been postponed, the jersey retirement. So we were like, we're going to go to Amherst instead. Now, a lot of people were confused by that. A lot of people, like, a few fans were like, okay, why? Some Hawks fans, some Peninsula fans. Here's the thing. We were going there for Charles Austin. We were going there for the Peninsula too, and for Elsie. Great, that should be a great game, but we were going there for Charles Austin. That doesn't happen now. We get to see the game of that day is Amherst versus Dalhousie. Here's why. We've never been to Amherst. It's the new team in the league, so that's exciting. You've been there, but I haven't.
You've been for the community barbecue.
There you go. Well, I didn't go to the arena. So
there we go. Okay.
To go to the arena to see this team for the first time in the BS, this is their first game.
Yep.
And it's against the defending champions. It's wrapped up in a nice little bow. You know, it's kind of a no-brainer. We're going to be in Tracadie at some point. We're going to be in LC most every time that they play because we were in their backyard or they're in our backyard. The Charles Austin retiring the jersey, that was the get us there.
The tipping point.
The tipping point. There you go.
Because we're also tempted to be in Miramichi last year. We were in Miramichi on opening night. You weren't, but we were. You were there in spirit, and we FaceTime, so it was like you were there. Yeah. So we were in Miramichi for opening night against Buckdush, so there's some nostalgia there. But we really want to see the champs take on the Ducks. Think that's going to be a phenomenal game, very competitive game.
I think you mentioned it right there. There's a lot of people that have told me personally, like, I would have preferred you guys go here. Sometimes we want to do what we want to do. And what feels right is going to see the new team taking on the champs.
Yep, I agree.
That might be a little snotty of me, a little bratty of me, but there are some people that really like, why aren't you going here? Why you said you were going there, now you're not going there. There are some Elsie fans that just drive me up the wall. Why aren't you? Like, it's in Tracadie. We're not live streaming it in Tracadie. It's impossible. Like, if you think we're going to Tracadie and live streaming, you're out of your mind.
So apparently Corey's cousin is bugging him about going to Tracadie. I'm just kidding. I don't know who's messaging you. But no, we're choosing to go to Amherst. I think it's the right decision for the podcast for this week. Sunday, we will be in Elsbuckduck and Buckdush. We're going to have people at both games. We're looking forward to it.
I'm going to be at both. I'm starting the night off at the LC game. If it's a score of like 7-1 going into the second period or the third period, I'm leaving to go to the Buckdush game. It's something that I started to do last year. When LC and Buckdush played on the same night, I tried to catch
half of both
or all of one. Usually the LC game starts first. It's like 5:30. Yep. So I'd catch the LC game and I'd leave maybe like a minute or two before the game ends so I can skip the traffic. And I'd race over to Buckdush for that game. Those are my favorite nights because it's not far away.
Yeah. I know Cheryl's going to be in Buckdush for the start of that game. It's going to be a good night. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to be in LC for the start of that game. Then I'm going to see the Vampire Circus at the casino because I've had tickets purchased for months. So Tracy and I are going to that. Unfortunately, we're going to be missing a bit of hockey on Sunday night, but that's okay.
Don't worry, I'll
We'll be
give
able
him
to
shit.
see.
I'll give him shit on next Tuesday's episode for that.
I'm sure you will. We will be at a lot of the games on the weekend. Can't wait. Looking forward to getting there. And yeah, we're going to be back on Thursday to make our predictions. Thank you to my mom, to Cheryl, to Tracy for coming on and giving their predictions for who's going to be the champion for this season. We cannot wait for the puck to drop. Only 3 days away.
You know, I was driving home, pitch black, and I was like, just thinking to myself, the work season's already over. It kind of went slow, but it kind of went quick too.
Yep.
And it dawned on me that Friday, we're on our way to Amherst. Puck drop. Can't believe it's already here.
Can't wait for it. We'll be back on Thursday with our predictions, and talk to you soon. Take care.
Take care.
I snuck it in there.
You're bald.
See you Thursday.